We're going to have a country that's unified. We're going to bring everybody together.
We want it all back.
Good morning. What's up, everybody? 511 Media family, all of our patriots out there. Welcome to 511 Morning Show. So proud to be here with you this morning, and thank you for watching with us and listening. Guys, we're clearly at a critical juncture in our history, and I want to make a very important point to you guys this morning, that every one of your guys' voices matters. Every decision you make, every person you speak to, every time you go and post something on social media, regardless of the fact that we know that social media is being censored, we've come into a point where we've seen our Democratic presidential and vice presidential candidates specifically stating that they want censorship. So we know that you guys are facing that. Regardless of that fact, our voice is so important because there are people that still see our stuff. Our voices are so important in the public square, whether you're in the grocery store, in church on Sunday, at your kid's Little League game, during the middle of the week, at school, wherever you're at, we have to use our voice. Every decision you make, let your actions speak for yourself. Because we have forces of evil, literal evil. Guys, how can you call it anything but evil with what's going on in the media? And we're going to talk to you more later today. We shared with you the other day about what's going on in the eastern part of the country, in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Eastern Tennessee, all of these areas that were so greatly devastated by this hurricane. And we're about to have another one, by the way. If y'all aren't paying attention, the Florida area, Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and other areas right in that path. We're about to have another one, guys. And it's so easy for us to sit over here in California and say, hey, you know what? I'm so disconnected. These are our brothers and sisters. And yeah, they're on the other side of the country. And we know that it doesn't directly affect us here in California or Arizona or Nevada or Washington or Oregon, wherever else you may be. But what does the Bible say? What does the Bible say as Christians we are to do? We're to help our brother and sister. We're to watch out for our neighbors. Love our neighbor as ourself. All of these people are our neighbors. They're our Christian brothers and sisters. And we have, and I'm going to show you evidence of this, a corrupt and evil government that is essentially doing nothing, giving handouts to illegal immigrants, people that are here, that aren't supposed to be here, many of whom mean harm to our country. A corrupt government that's sending money to countries besides our own and giving a pittance to the people that are there. And it's easy to say, well, you know, there's conspiracy theories. Are they manipulating the weather? Is it really that far-fetched? I'm not saying that it's happening. Maybe it isn't. But would you put it past them? Would you put it past the corrupt government who we know has sent money overseas and it's come back into their own pockets? They're spending your money. I had a conversation with a friend of mine last night. It's like, well, why would they spend all this money to manipulate the weather? Guys, they're spending your money. They're not spending their money to do it, but the money's coming back into their pockets. I'm not saying that this would happen. This is exactly what's happening. This is for educational purposes. We have to say certain things in certain ways for social media. We know that. But is it that far-fetched? And we're in a fight for America's future. We're in a fight for our First Amendment rights and our Second Amendment rights. And the Second Amendment is there to protect the First Amendment. And as Elon Musk said in the rally in Butler, PA, where they had a crowd significantly larger than the first crowd, which was already a large crowd that was there when Trump was shot the first time. He said that this could be our last election. And if we can, Darius, if you have that clip, I would love to roll that Elon clip right now. I know it's a little bit out of order for us, but if you got it, let's go to it now, and we'll come back.
American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight. Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America? Yeah, absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You've got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting. I still can't believe that's real. So how are you supposed to have a proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And if people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment. President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America. Yes. This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. There's one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay? And get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. So get everyone you know. So I'm speaking to people out there. Everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But for people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not registered to vote, it doesn't matter at that point. Register to vote. I'm being repetitive for a reason, okay? So nothing is more important. And a lot of people think maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does, okay? It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes. A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway more than anything that will matter is getting those registrations and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania. So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest. Just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you.
All right, guys, so you heard it from Elon Musk. You heard me saying it. If you guys are out there first, by the way, I want to mention that we want to hear your comments. We want to interact with you guys. So this is an interactive live show. If you guys drop your comments on this show, we're going to make sure and bring those up and talk to y'all because that's what we want to do. This isn't just about the Mike Harvey show, even though, you know, obviously I'm the host here. This is a show for you guys. But we had Elon Musk said exactly what I said. Guys, we're going to be showing you throughout where we're at in the election. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to show you what you can do to make a difference because it's up to every single one of us. We're doing all we can here at 511, but we know many other organizations. We know many of you guys are patriots out there that want to make a difference, that can make a difference. Every vote counts, but we're in a fight for the survival of our country, frankly. We are dealing with forces bigger than ourselves, forces of evil beyond the pale, beyond what we've ever seen. And it's, by a lot of accounts, unimaginable. It's hard to believe. And when I talk to people on a daily basis, they're like, is that really going on? The crazy part is it's going on. Stuff that we could never even imagine. So we have to stand up and we have to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Just like Trump said. Just like Elon said. Vote, vote, vote. Get out there. But this is a moment in history where you will look back and you'll say, where was I? Just like September 11th. Where was I when my voice mattered? When I had the opportunity? And depending on what we do with that opportunity will dictate the future. You can look back and say, where was I when they needed my moment, when they needed my voice, when they needed my vote, when they needed me to stand up and be accounted for, to make a difference for the future of our country, for the future of our republic. Where was I when I watched that moment slip away and I watched evil overtake our country in what could potentially be the last election? Or we can look back and say, you know what? I stood up. I made a difference. Guys, I'm getting fired up this morning because I care. Because I care about all of you guys. I care about all of our children, my children, your children, the future that we're creating for them, and the future that we're creating in them by what we choose to do today. And over the next 30 days, will dictate the next 20, 40, 60 years and beyond. And I'm making a moment to not just involve myself, our business, laying everything I have on the line for not just Trump and the case for the Republican Party. We know the Republican Party has been part of the Democrat Party, frankly. They're two sides of the same coin, but Trump is an outlier. Trump is different. But we're not just laying it down on the line for Trump. Because if that's what it was all about, it's important. But what's more important is taking back our country for Christ and bringing that to the forefront. So guys, right now we have a moment to decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to watch our country slip through our hands and erode away from us? Or are we going to stand up, bring our kids into it even, and let them see how it's done, how we take a stand for our country? And so last week, as I was going through my week, we had an opportunity to go over to Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm in California. We had an opportunity to go over to Las Vegas, Nevada with my daughter. And as I do so often, I brought her with me. And, you know, it's funny. I tell people many times, and this is true, frankly, she's more in tune with what's going on in the world than most adults. She's more informed about the future of our country, the way everything's headed, because we make a point to pour into her and talk to her. So for what it's worth, I wanted to share with you just a couple photos from our trip to Las Vegas where she got to visit the Nevada Trump headquarters. And here we are with Guadalupe, who also, by the way, works with Moms for Liberty, who's doing a great job out there. We had Christy Dixon on last week talking about that. And you can see my daughter and I in the very, very back. You can barely see my face because it's being shaded. But with the pink hat in the back, that's my daughter. It's important that our kids see and understand that there is something we can do. So we had a good time over here, but it's about more than just a good time. And as I was talking to you about what we can do to make a difference, I did want to share with you some resources. So first of all, 511 put together a resource for all of you guys, and it is the Election Strategy Playbook. And you guys can download it. There's still time. There's still time to stand up. We got just under 30 days. Just under 30 days to save our country. Just under 30 days to save our republic. And when the liberals tell you that democracy is on the line, they're not lying about that part. What they are lying about is who to vote for and who's going to make a difference. But go out to our website, 511media.co or weare511.com. You can download the Election Strategy Playbook, and we're exposing all the lies of the left, all the lies of the corrupt liberal media, and we're giving you a step-by-step action plan on what to do. So that's number one. Number two is we have TP Action, who 511's partnered with to help bring awareness to some of these issues. And they're doing some great things in the swing states. And you may be thinking, well, I'm not in a swing state. How do I make a difference? First of all, I've said this many times, all elections are local. So even if you're in California and you may be thinking, well, my vote doesn't matter because we know California electorally is going to Kamala and the liberals and the Democrats because of San Francisco and LA. And my vote doesn't matter electorally. First of all, there is a lot more patriots in California than anyone wants you to believe. There are a lot more people here that voted for Trump than anybody wants you to believe in 2020. In fact, there are more people in California that voted for Trump than any other state in the country. Now, just by sheer numbers, we know that that's a fact because California is the most populous state. However, what people don't know and what the liberal media doesn't want you to know is that California can make a difference, and you can make a difference electorally if we continue to fight for not just our country, but our state. But coming back to Turning Point Action and what they're doing. So we have Commit 100. And you can do something as simple as sending text messages to people to remind them to vote. And they'll help you out. All of the people that they're going to have you engage with and talk to are people that are friendly, people that are part of our tribe, people that want to vote for Republicans or at least conservative values. However, they're the low propensity voters, the ones who don't vote as frequently for whatever reason. So first of all, you can sign up to just send text messages, something that easy. They have an app. You can download the app on their site or from Apple or Google, either way. They also have, and there's a link, I believe, on their site where you can go and sign up and you will get paid and have all your expenses covered, by the way, room and board, travel, all of it, to go to Arizona or Pennsylvania to door knock. And you may think, well, I don't have time for that. I'll tell you, I'll be over there with my family, and I'm taking my kids with me as well because they need to see this. They need to see the moment that we're in, and they need to know how to make a difference. So we're going to be showing them. So we have the TP Action. Go check out tpaction.com. You can download the app. You can get out there and make a difference. Use your voice. Take action. We also have a couple sponsors that I want to mention to you guys. First of all, it's Freedom 2.0. And Freedom 2.0 is a proud sponsor of 511 Media Group, proud sponsor of what we do here. You can go check them out, freedom20.com. Use code 511 for 15% off. These guys are patriots in every sense of the word. They've been on our show multiple times in the past. They're fighting for First Amendment rights. They're fighting for your rights in many ways. And they're getting censored too, just like all of us. So if you guys can go out and support them, we got a quick little video I wanted to play to encourage you guys with that. So go check out freedom20.com. Use code 511 for 15% off. Second sponsor I want to mention today is Stand Up Now Apparel. Stand Up Now Apparel. And we're going to be sharing some of their stuff with you in the very near future. You can use code 511 again on their site, standupnowapparel.com. These guys are also patriots, also fighting for First Amendment, also fighting for our Christian values. And they do a great job. And we want to thank Gerard White, for everything he does for our cause, our movement, for supporting 511. Guys, go check them out now, standupnowapparel.com. Use code 511 for 10% off. So we want to get into the elections. And everything the liberal media is telling us is somewhat concerning. But the interesting thing, and I was sharing this with my wife just the other day, we have conservative media saying, hey, Trump's going to win. And conservative media, or liberal media, rather, saying, hey, Kamala, the race is tight. There's no one that's really saying that Kamala's ahead. And if you pay attention to the polls, you'll see that Trump is ahead in all of the key swing states, or most of them, rather. And the ones that he's not ahead in, I think the polls are inaccurate at. But before I show you some of these results, I want to make a point to say there is a factor at play here that we cannot truly factor into the election. And that is the malfeasance, the election interference, the election integrity, that we all know what happened in 2020. Even to the point where Google on YouTube has stopped censoring stuff because they're like, we just can't deny it at this point. It's too glaringly obvious. So we have key swing states, and I'm going to go down a list here with you guys. So Arizona has 11 electoral votes. Nevada has 6 electoral votes. Georgia 16, North Carolina 16, Pennsylvania 19, Michigan 15, and Wisconsin 10. And we have information on several of these. Trump is leading in 5 of the 7 crucial swing states. And some of them are surprising. So Trump's leading in Michigan, depending on what poll you look out, by 2% plus. Pennsylvania, 2% plus. Wisconsin, 1% plus. And Arizona, 1% plus. Harris is supposedly leading in Nevada and North Carolina, but by a narrow margin. Now, when we look at North Carolina, and you look at Georgia, which they're saying Georgia and Wisconsin are tight. When you look at Georgia and you look at North Carolina, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this a little bit here in just a few minutes, these states were greatly, massively impacted by the hurricane. And guys, I want to hear from you as we're going through the show. I want to hear from you what your thoughts are on everything I say. Questions, comments. This is an interactive show, just like I've said before. We want to hear from all of you guys. But we look at Georgia and North Carolina, which again, Georgia has how many electoral votes? Let me pull this up for you guys. Georgia has 16 electoral votes, and North Carolina has 16 electoral votes. That's 32, right? 32, yeah, 32 votes total just between the two of them. And supposedly those are close races, but they're not factoring into the polls, at least not yet, this hurricane. That's going to be a major factor. What I want to encourage you guys with is this election is far from over. And wherever you're at, your voice and your vote matter. We have Trump leading in a lot of these states, but the margin of error is bigger than the supposed lead. You got to remember that, right? So when the polls say, oh, he's up by 2% in this state and 2% in that state and 1% in this state, the most of these are at least 3% margin of error. So you take that and, well, when you factor in the margin of error, essentially what it's saying is this is going to be a really close race. I do believe in Jesus' name that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to win this election. I do believe that we're going to win or maintain the Senate. And I do believe that we're going to have control over the House. So as long as you guys get out and vote, as long as you guys encourage others around you, others in your church, others in your family to get out and vote. Because we need every vote we can get. Because, again, we saw what happened in 2020. We don't want a repeat of that in 2024. This country cannot handle a repeat of 2024. And if you have any questions on that, just look at what's going on in North Carolina, Western Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, all these states. And the media is trying to silence our voices that are speaking out against this. The most free platform is X. X and Rumble. You guys go follow us on X, at Real Mike Harvey on X. And you can watch the show over there. So whether we get taken off from YouTube or from Facebook, they try to push us down on the algorithm for obvious reasons. But I know there's many of you guys watching over on X. So what's going on in these states that are so devastated by the hurricane is just insane if you look at it. And again, I had a conversation with a friend of mine just last night, and he said, do you really think they can manipulate weather like that? I think we have evidence saying that they can. I think that they've done it before. And we even have had the director of, director of the CIA talking about how they've done that. And Darius, can you bring up that clip 21 from the director of the CIA? Brennan?
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other.
So I don't think we can get really any more official than the former director of the CIA coming out and saying on C-SPAN, national television, at least national in the United States, and C-SPAN is supposed to be unbiased. It's supposed to more or less just be what's going on and almost just broadcast of official conversations. So you can't get any more official than that, I don't believe. And they're admitting right here, hey, we're able to control this, and it's really not that expensive to do. And keep in mind, they're spending your guys' money on this. They're not spending their money on it. So why do they even care? They're getting money back in their pocket from it, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But is it really that far-fetched? You guys tell me what you think. And let's play this clip 5. Someone who was directly involved in this exact program.
Here with Kristen Megan. She's a military veteran, right?
Yes, I was in the U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
Wow. And you came out and blew the whistle on geoengineering, things that you witnessed were going on. Can you give us the real nutshell?
Absolutely. Basically, I had heard of what many people know as the term chemtrails. And I worked in a job called bioenvironmental engineering, and I thought that was insane. And why would we do something like that? Modify the weather by using hazardous materials in our atmosphere? So, and actually the process of trying to debunk it or disprove it, I realized it was actually coming right out of my office, as I was one of the people that was approving the chemicals. And it really shook the core of my oath. And I did a lot of sampling, did a lot of investigation, and I blew the whistle and I got out. And I've now used my credentials, my oath, and my powers for good to help people understand it's very real. It's now openly admitted. There are multiple forms of weather modification. I specifically found the one of stratospheric aerosol injection. And collectively around the globe, we have to understand that it is now being admitted because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change we need to be worried about is man-made climate engineering, also known as geoengineering.
And when you say you had chemicals being pumped into the air, what kind of chemicals are they putting out that rain down on humanity, basically?
Nanoparticulate metals, like you had different sulfates and barium and strontium. I know it's probably changed over time. I know they use silver iodide for certain things, but these are the odd part of it was the quantities that I saw them coming in, the form that they were coming in, and it's the same type of materials that I was trying to engineer out of the workplace to substitute with safer materials. And when you notice that what's called a safety data sheet, the information about a chemical of what personal protective equipment to wear, how do you dispose of it, how do you pack it to ship it. When key information is missing, I ask questions, and my questions led to demonization, and I knew I found something I shouldn't have.
That's insane. So these metals are basically toxic for the humans, I would presume, or?
Yes, because it also has aluminum, and a lot of people will tell you, well, these things aren't horrible in small quantities. It's not small quantities, because when you are putting things above us, the dissipation rates are dependent on weather and climate, but it's getting into the food, it's getting into the soil. And around the world, wastewater treatment plants, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, or these toxicants is what they're called, they are not able to filter them out. So if you're growing organic food, are we going to go back to the plexiglass barriers on our plants? I mean, it's horrible. That's why you can ban it anywhere. We've had states in the United States ban it, and that is great to get the ball rolling. But people really need to wake up to it, irrespective of any political party. It's not okay. And you're seeing a huge increase in neurodegenerative issues like Alzheimer's. It's really difficult for people with respiratory issues and asthma. And people are wondering why they have allergies 24/7, 365.
And I liked what you said about that climate change or the change we experience in weather. Often we can't disconnect that from these geoengineering activities. Do you want to say something more about that? I mean, how do we feel that? Is there proof or so that is definitely coming from that?
Yes, there are places that openly admitted it. Remember Dubai? And then when people got upset, they retracted it, but the can was already opened. And the issue is, I know this sounds silly, but when you watch movies with time change, they say if you do something and something changes, it changes the ripple throughout time. If you are modifying the weather, you are messing with Mother Nature. And meteorology is a very, very thorough study. And I do know a lot of it because of my profession of plotting hazards. But it does not make sense when you are altering nature where things are not naturally supposed to occur. We had massive flooding in California, and we have a system called HARP that is in the United States. And the same people who demonized me 5-10 years ago are now going, wow, because they're finding it's openly admitted in all of our U.S. documents. The U.S. is absolutely not the only country doing it.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you very much for coming out on that and letting humanity know what's going on. Thank you so much, Megan.
Okay, so we have all of these official people, Director of CIA, Brennan, this woman, that are coming out and saying that this is going on. Is it a conspiracy theory? Maybe. Maybe all these people are lying. But maybe not. We also had a Zoom call that we want to play a clip for you guys as well. There's a lot of senators and official congressmen and other official people that believe that the weather is being manipulated. This isn't me saying this, guys. This is for educational purposes. Appease the social media gods, right? air quotes on gods, because clearly they're not God, our Father, creator in heaven. They're manipulating things, allegedly. It remains to be seen. We'll know the truth in time. The truth always becomes revealed. The truth is always revealed. But I want to play this clip, and this is talking about some official elected politicians who are also believing the same things.
If you can do so, could you tell us about some of your recent discussions, conversations, briefings that you've had with political leaders from the states in question that have asked you what you think? First of all, what did they specifically ask you, if you can tell us, and how did they respond to your answers?
Yes, Colonel McGregor, I had an hour conference call yesterday with the representatives and senators from the Carolinas, and we presented the data to them to answer their questions about how this manipulation occurs. They realized this was not a natural event. They're trying to digest the fact that their states were literally under assault from weather modification operations that are clearly connected with DoD operations, and we can speculate again on the agendas and objectives being carried out, but the fact that the storm was manipulated is absolutely inarguable. We know that technology to stop these rotations from even occurring has existed for decades with the manipulation of atmospheric pressure zones. HARP in Alaska is one example many people are familiar with. That's an ionosphere heater. That's a weapon of mass destruction.
Okay, so I'm just connecting dots, guys. Again, I'm not saying this is true. This is other people saying that this is true. I'm connecting dots. Let you guys understand what's going on here. Why are they stopping people from the rescue efforts? Why are they seizing resources, money, water, all those things? And it's being reported that it's being given to illegal immigrants. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But again, is it really that far-fetched? If they're seizing the needed supplies, the needed money, the government's not looking out for our best interest. We know this. Why are we even questioning that? But now let me show you some information that may be shedding some light on why they're doing this, why they don't appear to want to help people, why they may have manipulated the weather. Let's watch this man from the area talk about what he believes is going on and why they're doing these things.
Please don't scroll. Please watch this entire video, because you will see about 6 or 7 or 8 pictures at the end of it showing you proof of everything that I'm about to say. So please watch this entire video. So between Kings Mountain and Chimney Rock, North Carolina is the largest lithium deposit in the world. And the rights are owned by Albemarle Global. And on September the 24th, they actually applied for federal and state permits to redirect and reconstruct their mining operation between Kings Mountain and Chimney Rock. So Albemarle is owned mostly by stockholders, Vanguard and BlackRock Group. Well, guess who the biggest investor in BlackRock and Vanguard is? Douglas Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband. So Albemarle is home headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. And when these permits get approved, they're proposing $250 billion yearly in mining. Douglas Emhoff's stock holdings just went up substantially. And guess who is the final approval for the permits. That would be our lovely VP. So, as I said, I'm going to post about 6 or 7, maybe 8 pictures at the end of this video, and you can see for yourself. It's a disgrace. The loss of life for money. So please, I beg you, if you have any heart and any love for life and liberty and the wrongdoing that's going on right now, please like, comment, and repost this to everybody. Everybody. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we see what's going on here. We've seen potentially the weather's being manipulated. Maybe, I don't know. I think we've shown you plenty of proof that it's definitely possible that there's something more malicious going on here. That there's something behind the scenes going on here. We're showing you the trail. It's always about money. Remember that. It's always about the money. But she's going to bring joy and rainbows and kittens and puppies and unicorns. Especially the unicorns, because just like Kamala being in your favor, that doesn't exist either. When she says that she's looking out for your best interest, she's lying to you. We've shared with you many times on this show, and we'll continue to share with you on this show. Everything she's saying is directly from the Communist Manifesto, the Communist Playbook. Her father was a Marxist economist. We'll show you what can be unburdened by what has been. It's a direct quote from the Communist Manifesto. Everything she's saying is directly from the Communist Manifesto. And now we're showing you direct line correlation, or connection at least, between potential weather manipulation, what's going on in North Carolina. They're stopping the aid from coming, and there's money involved. They're spending your money to put more money back into their pockets, just like they always do. Guys, we have to stop this. And we have another video with more details about what's going on with the trail of money. And let's share this one, Darius.
All right, some more jacked up shit about this mine. So I learned that the mine's going to be making somewhere around $250 billion a year. Albemarle Global is the owner of this mine. Well, that company is made up of stockholders, BlackRock, and Vanguard. I also learned that Mr. Douglas Emhoff is the #1 stockholder in BlackRock and Vanguard. If you don't know who he is, that's Kamala Harris's husband. Yeah, that's what I said. Now, we also learned that Douglas is the one who submitted the permits. I also learned that Kamala Harris had to have her signature on them to be approved. Yeah, that's right. The same woman that wanted to give everybody $750 in their time of need is the same woman that's signing these permits. Then that got me to thinking, this woman is about to make billions of dollars off of a disaster, and that doesn't sit right with me at all. We need to do better.
Just like he said, we need to do better, folks. I'm showing you this information because I think it's easy to sit back and say that doesn't affect me. It's going to affect you when we lose our First Amendment, when we lose our Second Amendment, when they confiscate our land, when they steal our money and give us nothing essentially in return, when the direct correlation or direct line between the weather events and the permits for this lithium mining. And where is that money going? BlackRock, Vanguard, but direct line to Kamala Harris. And we're literally in a war for our lives, guys. And we can't just sit here and let it happen. They're stealing the donations. Donations are being confiscated. Darius, I'm gonna throw you for a curve in a second here, but we're gonna go to video 22. And I've shared this with you last week. I'm gonna continue to share it with you, but we're sending supplies, and FEMA is actively taking them and giving them to others. Let's go ahead and roll this video.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I know I've already given you an update this morning, but things have changed pretty quickly. My contact up in Johnson County, Tennessee, she goes by the name of Linda. She's not associated with the government at all. She's just trying to coordinate ground efforts, and this is the message that I just got from her early this morning. I was asking what she needed, and she said, let me see what's going on. There was a little bit of craziness going on yesterday. Supposedly, all the donations coming to my company, Skydive Mountain City, from other skydiving companies are property of Tennessee and can no longer touch it. It all has to go to the armory, in which it is sitting around and only getting to whomever can get there to pick it up. Obviously, nothing of that is legal. I am trying to figure out what to do. I had 2 caravans coming from Ohio yesterday full of generators and chainsaws that turned around without the drop. If they landed here, the sheriff and the sheriff's department would have taken all of them from me and don't have their crap together. Please, one sheriff was supposedly trying to get generators to his house because he has no power, but I don't know that for a fact. Lots of corruption in this small town. That's why it's important for me to make sure things go where it's supposed to. Parslet XP U.S. Veterans Corps from Rayford has been flying the CASA, which is a large transport plane, up from stuff for her, Linda specifically, and they didn't want to come here. They are friends of mine for many years. This is the corruption that's going on. Please share this, because no flights can go in and get to where it needs to go in that county, and I'm sure that's happening in other places. Share this around, put pressure on the sheriff's office of Johnson County, Tennessee, to allow flights to come in. This is not right. Please share it around. I have specific requests. Like I said, we're transitioning over to long-term sustainment. I need Starlink. I need generators, small generators, like the small Honda, small generators, lightweight generators that I can carry in the plane. But I need Starlink, I need generators, I need power cords, things like that. So share this around. We're going to be all around North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee today. I don't care where the Starlink is. I don't care where the generators are. We'll go get them and get where they need to go. Please share this around quickly. Thank you.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to continue to share this information. We're going to continue to share this information of the corrupt government and what is going on over there with our brothers and sisters in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, all of these states, these patriots. And this is going to make a difference in the election. So come November, they tell you that Kamala has won the state of Georgia. Don't believe it for a second, guys. These people will remember. People remember what goes on over there. If they come and try to tell you in November that Kamala won North Carolina, I don't believe it for a second. People are pissed. I'm pissed. Personally, I care about our fellow patriots, our brothers and sisters on the other side of the country. We're doing all we can to help them. People are literally climbing up the mountains, ATVs, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, whatever they can to get up those mountains to help these people. And if you're one of these people and you're watching, let us know, because we want to help you as well. whatever we can do to help you guys, because that's the reason this show exists. That's the reason this show exists, to make a difference in our future, in our children, for our children. We're not going to just stand by and let them steal the land that rightfully belongs to others. We're not going to stand by and watch them steal our republic, watch them steal this election. We watched it happen last time. It's not going to happen again. But guys, we need to stand up for what's right. And we need to help these people that are in the Appalachian Mountains. We need to help these people in whatever way we can. And we have friends over in that area that are doing just that. So if you don't know where else to give, you can connect with our friends at Birdies and give directly to them. Go ahead and roll that video, Darius.
This is my dad, Doug DeBerti. I'm Brad. The hurricane in North Carolina has literally caused so much death, destruction, lost family members. Some people don't even know where their family is.
Yeah, they're looking right now.
Yeah. And they just, honestly, guys, they just need help.
The biggest thing they need help with is that they need food. They need food and water. And then that's where we come in along with you guys.
We partnered with Valley Bible Fellowship. And there's going to be a donation link. If you go to my bio and hit donate, you'll see all the different things. It's a nonprofit. 100% of the proceeds are going to help all these people. We don't know how far my dad and I personally are going to be able to get, but we are going to go as far in North Carolina as we possibly can.
So I mean, whether you got $1 or you got $5, if you don't go to Starbucks today, look what $5. $5 gets you 40 waters. And at the end of the day, if it was anyone out there that was in the mountains and you're able to get water and food now, I mean, it's going to keep going. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's over. People are thinking it's over. It's just begun. Every single day they need food, not just a one-time deal.
It's bad. And if you guys are local to Charlotte, I'll put all the info in the bio of where you could drop off food, water, or anything like that. But the biggest thing, you guys, is just to donate.
Yeah, please help or pass the video on. If you don't have an extra buck, that's okay. Just maybe you could pass the video on to 10 people, and maybe one of those people can help out a little bit. We're not asking for a lot, but we're controlling it. We're going to make sure that every dollar goes to buy food for the people in need.
Guys, go check these guys out. We'll make sure and drop a link in the comments for you guys to connect directly with our brothers that are patriots over there in the Carolinas, or reach out to Samaritan's Purse, another great organization that is doing God's work. Their hands on the ground, feet on the ground, reaching out to help people in need in a desperate time. Remember, the Bible says to treat others the way you want to be treated. I'm paraphrasing clearly, but God says, love your neighbor as yourself. What would you want others to do if you were in that situation? And let's not forget, in November, the evil and the manipulation behind all of this. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. We'll be back. We'll be sharing more as this story continues in the southeast part of the country. We're going to continue to support these patriots as much as we possibly can. But I want to thank you for everything you're doing out there as part of the 511 family. And I want to thank you for being a patriot that loves America and is not going to just sit by and watch the future of our country, the future for our children, continue to be evaporated. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. God bless.